Okay, morning everyone. I just wanted to check in with everyone this morning and deliver assembly and talk about the pillars of success at Beaumont Collegiate Academy. So we'll go more into the details of these 5 pillars during the assembly. I want to first of all make mention of what's been happening over the past few weeks in this country and the world. It's been a very, very strange time, and it's been very strange for all us teachers in school not to be able to see you day to day. Clearly, a lot's gone on over the past few weeks. And what I want to talk about is some of the habits that we may have got into or maybe have got out of. Now, if you remember, we spoke about habits and habits of successful people that I'll remind us about in a second. But when we talked about habits, we need to define exactly what a habit is. And a habit is a practice, especially one that's hard to give up. Now, as we're aware, habits can be good. Stuff like getting to bed early, getting up early, doing exercise every day, drinking lots of water. Or they can be bad, where we might pick our nails, or we might go to bed later, or we might stay on our Xbox more than we should do. And it's really important during these times that we try and create positive habits. We spoke about habits of what successful people do, and I read a book once about the habits of successful people. And there was 7 points that people who are successful and 7 habits that people who are successful do all the time, or most of the time. The first one is they were proactive. They didn't just settle around things. They didn't just let things happen to them. They were active about what they did with their lives. They begin with the end in mind, so rather than just thinking short term, they looked at where they want to be at the end of the day, or the end of the week, or the end of the year. Where do they want to be in a few years' time? They put the first things first, the most important things to them first, and they really, really were specific about what they were. They wanted to know if it was about their learning. They put the learning first rather than going outside kicking a football, for example, for 10 hours a day. They thought win-win. They tried to think positive about situations and trying to turn negative situations maybe into a positive. They looked to understand not just themselves, but others. That word that we've used before about empathy, where they don't just think about themselves, they think about how other people feel. They worked together with everyone, realised that everyone needs to be together and support each other through difficult times. And also, really important to us, they sharpened the saw. They looked after their own well-being. So, our first pillar we talk about in school is positive behaviour. At BCA, we have our staff and student charter. I'm sure at home, you've not drawn up a home charter and you don't follow that every single day with your parents or your guardians. But what you could try and do is this idea of think win-win. Try and stay positive. So think about not just yourself at home, but other people's feelings as well, whether you're with siblings, brothers or sisters, or whether you're at home with just your guardian. Think about how you can all work together during this time. And a couple of ideas I've thought about, of just being at home more with my family over the past few weeks, is about noise. You know, are you being too noisy sometimes? Are you tidying your room? Are you keeping tidy when you've been confined at times, most of the time into your house? And something we've spoke about before is this idea of common sense. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Just because your parents or guardians haven't said to you, don't go on your Xbox all night, doesn't mean that you should go on your Xbox all night or watch telly. Use your common sense and try and do the right thing. So, pillar 2, attendance. May sound very, very strange that we're talking about attendance when we're actually not able to, or the majority of us aren't able to be in school at the moment. But this idea of don't just settle, be proactive about what you want to do. Just because you're not in school does not mean you can't be learning. There is tons of work, and your teachers are spending lots of time on Google Classroom, setting work, giving you feedback, making sure that you're still developing at home during this time. There's also lots of work packs as well So set time aside every day to get work completed. And if you've got any issues at all, email through to your Ask Year 7 at bca.warrington.ac.uk, or Ask Year 8, or Ask Year 9, or Ask Year 10, or Ask Year 11. Don't just sit there and say you don't know what you're doing. Make sure you email through. The other question we get asked quite a lot at this time is about setting time aside, that we'll come to now, for your punctuality, which is pillar 3. Putting first things first. What is the most important part for you? And I'm going to introduce a term to you, which once again I've spoke about before, is eat that frog. So get the most important things to you done first. So maybe the most difficult things sometimes as well. So eating that frog doesn't mean go and eat a frog. It means make sure that you do your work first before you do everything else. Don't worry if you don't do your work all in one go. You don't have to do it from 9 till 5 o'clock every day. You might do an hour of work and then go outside for your exercise for the day. That's absolutely fine to do, but make sure you set some time, you're punctual to get your work done in a space that you're able to do it. And clearly, the more you work now, the easier it will be when we eventually will return everyone back to school. The last pillar is about you being safe and well. This idea of sharpening the saw, looking after yourself and your well-being. I mentioned before about getting out every day, making sure you're socially distanced, but getting some exercise, maybe going for a walk, going for a run. Getting the right amount of sleep, which is really, really important. Just because you're not getting up really early for school in the morning doesn't mean you can stay up half the night watching telly or on your computer or on your devices. Make sure you follow all the rules that are being set out at the moment for your own benefit and for that of other people as well. Now at the moment, it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and clearly it's affecting a lot of our emotions and our mental health at the moment. We are still here to support people if you need to, but you must let us know. So if you're struggling at all, or you know one of your friends is struggling, please let school know. Tell us at bca.warrington.ac.uk. There's also lots of other people you can speak to as well. There's Couth, there's also Young Minds and Childline if you need to, but let somebody else know. Over the past week, I've sent everyone's parents and guardians a wellbeing pack that I'd like you to look at with whoever you live with at home, and there's lots of different supportive websites and strategies you can use there to keep yourself safe and well at the moment. The main point about that is don't suffer in silence, let people know. So I hope you're doing well. I hope all your families are well. I want you to keep safe and well, and we look forward to when you return, and I can't wait to see you soon. Take care. Bye.